I think the number one question I get on my page is, how do you do your low notes?
Nice.
People who are more observant will know that I had posted a tutorial about 3 years ago and it got taken down. And I want to explain why because it's important. So, number one, when I posted the video, I thought I knew everything about how to do my mechanic, my technique. And then I got messages from like 3 different people that I had permanently damaged their voices. And so, yeah, I realized, whoops, I really don't know as much as I thought I did. So, let me take that video down because obviously it's harming people's voices. The other factor has to do with a Discord server called Bass Singing Nation. When I took down that video, I also realized that I had to make some changes about how I described my technique. Now, oddly enough, when I made those changes in my description, I was met with, "But that's not what you said before, bro." I was like, "Yeah, I know, because I'm learning as I'm going." I'm what? I was like 21 at the time. I'm now 25. Ooh, I know, unk status. So, anyways, let me break this down for you.
From the west side. Yo, we gonna take you back to when music used to sound like this. And I want
Alright, anyways, on a more serious note, let me break down the technique. In its most rawest form, all I am doing, in essence, is throat bass. What you hear the Mongolians do, the beatboxers do, but you notice it might not sound the same. I do get some comments from beatboxers sometimes that, "Bro, I literally can do this. It literally sounds the same. I could literally do this bar for bar." And, not saying that your opinion isn't valid, but it's kind of like saying a jazz singer can sing opera because the jazz singer can sing as high as the opera singer. Or then the opera singer can be hired for a musical theater role just because they can speak the same words as the musical theater singer. While we might be using the same exact folds, we are producing an entirely different sound. And how do I know this? Well, because I can do both. And I'm guessing this is not what you want to sound like. Where you hear the normal modal folds and the false ones, we call it ventricular folds, vibrating at the same time. It also is very painful on the voice. I wouldn't suggest learning how to do it that way. So you're going, "Oh, well, Xander, what's the secret?" Well, the secret that I have learned over the past 7 years I have done this, well, is that the secret is the onset of breath. It is literally the breathing that produces the note, and how much sound you are actively producing with your real folds. Observe. If I sang you this note, well, not that one, you would think in order to produce a heavy bass tone with the technique, you would want to sound like this. Oh, dark sound, forced it down, low larynx. Well, that might get you a good sound in that register. When you try to produce that sound while using the throat bass, you're gonna sound like this. Um, which I'll tell you, no choir director will ever want you to sound like this. The secret is that when you sing the notes before activating your throat bass, it should sound like this. Ooh. Because when you activate the technique, it'll sound like this. Ooh, yeah. Compared to the hard part is doing that sensation. Having that small onset of breath, that small voice into the false folds. It's hard. It's really hard. And that's why I'm making this tutorial and saying, if you're going to try and do this, it's not going to be easy. My physiology for my voice makes it so that any extended technique that I want to learn, it's relatively easy for me to pick up. Almost all of them. I'm telling you, all of them I can do. I can do growl. I can do inverse phonation. I can do subharmonics. I can do throat bass. I can do subharmonic throat bass. All of it. But that's because for some reason God gave me a weird physiology for my voice. This technique has always been a natural pathway. It's never been a struggle because naturally my voice produced that sound that way. I had to learn how to sing in that type of sound. And you can still hear that it's difficult for me to produce a normal Mongolian sound to that technique. Now, the reason why I'm making this tutorial video is because I did have an incident in my life that made me realize that life's really short. And I might as well put this out there, and maybe someone along their own lifetime will be able to be as good as I am. I know that there's at least 2 guys in the Octavism history that do what I do before I ever did it. The first is Pavel Mayakodin. I know for sure he does this because I messaged him on like Russian Facebook. I asked him to clarify if it was subharmonics or what I do with this throat bass type of thing. And the other guy is just because he would always just chant on one singular note, and it literally sounded like normal throat singing. Paul Mihailik. Who's an octavist from the 1950s, I believe. I get asked, do I think I'm a fake? No, I've sung for some really notable and renowned conductors and singers, and they've all acknowledged me as the real deal. Am I a basso profundo? Oh, by all means, no. If anything, I'm definitely more so like a high baritone who found a way to get down there in the depths of the ocean. And I want to just stress this point. You might not sound like me in the first year, or the second, or the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Bro, you're unk status. Why are you doing this? And I don't want to give any more that's outside of my own knowledge expertise. It's up to you with practice, 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 trial and error to see if you can figure out a way to navigate what I have given you on the table. Yeah, people have been asking for a tutorial for a long time. There you go. This is the tutorial. I have given you everything that I know what I'm doing. This is literally everything that I know I am doing. Everything that I have said in this video is what I know, and it's just been practice and trial and error from that point. So have fun, bass on, and try your best. Good luck. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, then this message is for you. I know that there's going to be about 80% of people that will skip to the technique tutorial section and they won't watch this part. And this part's the most important part. Being an octavist, the low notes are only half of the journey. The other half is being a really great choir singer. You gotta learn how to read the notes. You gotta learn how to blend, vowel changes, following the director's orders, all of that jazz. There's no point in hiring an octavist if he doesn't know when to sing his low notes. So if you reached this point of the video, thumbs up, that's great. And remember, low notes are only part of the journey of being an octavist. We are not soloists. We are a very important, vital part of the choir.